Testing, testing, testing. What is going on with the audio here? Audio, audio, audio. Maybe. Testing, testing, testing. What is going on with the audio here? Audio, audio, audio. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Okay, I think we have the audio issues sorted out. So if so, then we got to start the show at 10:30. So give me another 14 minutes or so we can have the full show. Cool? Cool.
Danger Zone!
Danger Zone just played. That's good. Bet. All right, let's do it this way. All right, so obviously I'm having had some system issues over the last couple of days. So let's get to it this way. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, man? We are back in the house, and the house is packed. Let's put it like that. Let's head over to. All right, let's do it this way. All right, so obviously I'm having had some system issues. There we go. Over the last couple. We got that going. That looks good. I love it. You build it while you fly, baby. You build it while you fly it. So, we're back in the house, people. Cool. See what it looks like on camera. When it's all said and done, you guys are going to love this. But I had a computer that died on me. And if you've never had a computer die on you, you don't want it to happen, especially a few minutes before a show starts. A computer dying on you a few minutes before the show starts is enough to ruin every damn thing. But welcome back. How you doing? Your godfather is almost back to 100%. And in that regard, we are ready to take this thing to the next level. But today I wanted to do a show that I call Misunderstandings. Misunderstanding or change the narrative. Who does a show like this? I wonder, I've seen, there's been many shows where people will allow you to come on board to their platform and challenge the narrative that they're putting out or give you the opportunity to change their mind. And that's kind of what I'm looking at right here. A lot of women complain about content on this side. They say that you guys are only speaking to a certain segment of women, not all, not all, not all, and you know how that kind of goes. And my thing is this, okay, well then let's talk about it. Change our minds. Change the guys' minds over on this side so they can kind of start to understand why they should not have such entrenched views. So that's a little bright, but anywho, change our mind or change the mind. Or what I also said is misunderstandings. On Instagram, I put a post up and I asked the women, I was like, all right, all fun and games to say, ladies only. You don't like it when men speak on women? In your opinion, what are some things that men need to do in order to improve relationships? Now understand, if you're a man between the ages of 18 and 29, first off, this is for ladies only, but of course, guys chimed in. And guys between 18 and 29, I expect you to have a completely different answer than guys 30 plus. When you're in the Esquire phase of life, relationships can suck unless you are a genetically gifted guy, unless you have game, money. Power money status is huge under 30. So I saw guys chime in and saying, we need to focus on ourselves, And you're right. Under 30, you need to focus on yourself because the sexual marketplace is not fair. But I'm talking about relationships in general, across the board, not just under 30. See, it's human nature when something's not working for a group, that they're vocal. And I still want the guys to speak. But this is for the ladies. And here's one of the most common things I heard women say is that women are saying men need to communicate. Communicate. That's what I saw more often than not. Communicate, communicate, learn how to be a more effective leader, which is funny because many women seem as though they want men to almost operate like male females. Communicate, or is it you want, or the men you want them to learn how to communicate? But we'll take it. Ladies, you say men need to learn how to communicate. A lot of women say men need to learn how to lead. Here's one. Here's one. The woman said men need to quit being scary. And one of the things I think one thing that I saw a lot of women said outside of the communication and leadership thing, a lot of women said, you modern men need to stop being so damn afraid of us. Y'all need to stop being afraid of women and tell women the truth. Tell women what's really on your mind, which I laugh when I heard that because I'm like, now wait a minute. I built an entire platform on telling women the truth. And do you ladies not understand that you ask men to take powerful leadership and communication standpoints, but are you willing to deal with the outcome? So let's get to it, ladies. If men need to change things in relationships, cool. So when I open the panel, you have a chance to clear up the misunderstanding, change the narrative, or talk about some things that you think men need to do better in modern relationships. Now, again, if you're not interested in a relationship, if you only are looking into short-term transactional situations, I got something for that too. When I jump into Men's Week, we're going to talk about the three levels of development and the three masculine archetypes. And I'm also going to take on the subject of tricking. We're going to take on all that. Now, let's get into it. Let's get back over to the desk. Kind of like Mr. Rogers over here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? So that was scene one. And as we transition from scene one, we go over to this scene. Hello. We go over to the main scene. Hi, how you doing? But what you guys did not see is the main shot. That's the main shot. And then the three shot, that's this shot. That's when I get it all squared away. I'll be standing here at the podium presenting. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to have three different places that I talk. So, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, let's get into it, ladies. I want to get directly into the... What the heck is this? That doesn't look right. Hold on just a second. I think I messed up my little stick thing. Anywho, sometimes this thing gets a little off base. But anyway, we'll fix that later. I'm like a kid. Everything has to be in its place or else I'm not really happy with what's going on. But anyway, got the bigger one. So, let's go. I'm going to open the call lines and get right to it. Can you guys hear me? Can you help me out with my audio? It's not a work about the audio. It's a matter of the system, and you got to transfer everything over. Appreciate it, but this is not going to run like every other. No disrespect to other people's show or no other people's podcast, but when I'm doing something different. I'm not just doing a standard. I'm not going to always do standard. Trying different things. So when I build out my studio to have an in-studio podcast, then you'll bring on staff. All right, let's get it done. So,
Say
Can you guys hear that? And funny thing is, the computer completely died. So it's like Jesus Christ, starting all over again, starting all over again. Yeah, it's starting all over again. So we're gonna just jump right on into it. I'm gonna open up the StreamYard. We're gonna open up StreamYard and just get it going. Do. So I would play music in the background, but can't do that right now either. For some reason, it's not picking up the audio. It has to map over. So here is the StreamYard link. Change. The whole point is the whole thing was change my mind. There's a segment called Change My Mind. We can do it that way. Host a meeting. Do. Boom. Hey, start this meeting. Here we go.
Recording in progress.
All right, there we go. Move this over here so this can be right there. Recording in progress. So if you want to join on the Zoom to change my mind, here you go. Change my mind. It was either do the show like this or don't do the show. And I'm like, we'll do the show. Build it while you fly, baby. Build it while you fly. Ladies only, there you go. Change my mind or clear up the misunderstanding. What made me think about this was women seem to think that men get so many things wrong when it comes to relationships that we're just not understanding where you're coming from. And I'll be honest, a lot of times men don't understand why so many women are willing to go to college, go to work, to get your PhD, to do everything else in the world, but when it comes to a man, you're not willing to do a damn thing. It's like you're not willing to do anything when it comes to a man. If you're going to have a man needs to be able to completely keep you from having to. If you're going to have a man, it's like today, modern women feel like if they're going to go through the trouble of having to submit to a man, that man needs to pay 100% of the bills and everything else. You heard a woman say the other day that if I got to work and be married and have kids, that I would rather just do it on my own. Men don't understand that mindset. Men don't understand that mindset. Men don't understand that mindset. Men don't understand that point of view. Men don't understand why so many of you ladies are willing to go, why so many of you are willing to go interview, to put your best foot forward to go to work, and then have to show up and work and struggle to climb the corporate ladder. But then when a man asks you to just fix him a plate. So here's the thing. A lot of men in general, black men in particular, I heard a lot of black men say, hey, just treat us like you treat Brad. Treat us like you treat Brad or you treat that job, and we'd be golden. Do you ladies understand that that's the sentiment that a lot of guys have? Treat us like you treat Brad or that job, and we would be Gucci. How do you ladies feel when you hear men say that? All right, so there it is. Yeah, members only engaged. Guys, I make no bones about it. When I go on the road, I'm going to be going on the road again. I got a trip planned to Miami. another trip to LA. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in either in LA, Atlanta, Miami, and New York. So let's get it. And also, if you want to ask questions, you can answer. Get on the Zoom link, or join via Streamlabs. It's ladies only, so I'm not bringing in any guys. So if you're a guy in the chat room, if you're a guy in the, I'm not bringing you in. So it's not your time yet. And Men's Week is going to be different. Men's Week is going to be teaching men stuff, but I'm going to be doing Men's Week, but I'm going to be focusing on men between the ages of 18 and the focus is going to be on the men between 18 and 29. But it's going to be Men's Week, period. But the focus is going to be on the Esquire phase. So, what is another thing that men don't tend to understand with you ladies? You want men to be leaders. You want them to communicate better. And you want men to not be afraid to tell women the truth. This is one thing I agree with the ladies. Guys, whether they like it or not, you need to stop worrying so much about what women think. We need to stop worrying so much about what women think and care more about and deal with women who care about what you think. This is where the ladies are not going to like it. Let's see. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Members only engage. That's the point, Stevie. That's the thing. So the StreamYard link is open and the Zoom link is open. You can join anonymous too. Ladies, you can join anonymous. You don't have to be on camera on YouTube or on StreamYard, but I do need to see who you are. Why is that important? Because there's going to be a portion of the show, guys, as I start to interview more people who will have brands, profiles, platforms that they're going to want. It says ladies only. I got guys. If you're a guy, please bounce out. Why is that important? Because common ground. I can sit down with somebody who may be vehemently against me, and I'm vehemently against them. Vehemently against me, and I'm vehemently against them. But we can find some common ground. It says ladies only. I don't know. It says change my mind. Okay, maybe it didn't say change my mind, ladies only. So my bad. Let me copy that. I'm gonna be honest too. I'm not really looking to debate a lot of guys on anything. Look, I know a lot of guys have an issue with the concept of a high value man, this or that. And here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, guys. No disrespect, but I really don't care if you disagree with it. The thing is, men of value, it's not about money. Why are high value men so in demand? It's because of their network. It's because women like men who are in demand by other women. So as a man, focusing, here's the issue, a big issue that women have with men today. You can have a man and you can have money. You can be a man and you can have money. You can even have a little fame or notoriety. But ladies, I'm going to say this, like I talked about the men in the Esquire phase. And I know some guys aren't going to like this. Some guys aren't going to like this. So I'm going to preface this. If you don't care for a long-term relationship for women, this really won't matter. If you're going to be much more of a playboy, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx, that kind of person, hey man, kudos to you. As long as you have the kind of money and resources to have your short-term relationships and your kid, I'm for that. It's kind of like obsidian. Obsidian is a vowed hedonist, and I'm good with that. But there's limits that come with men who are loners. And ladies, women are drawn to men who have broader networks. Men who other men are following or other men co-sign on are always going to be looked at more favorably by women. Ask yourself, ladies, are you following a man that other men are following? Not do they have to follow him because he has a rank. Men voluntarily follow him because of respect. And this is why young men have such an issue, because you still haven't gained enough respect or gravitas from other men. So I know guys with a lot of money who are just rank loners. And it's one thing to be it's one thing to be a loner and likable, but if you're a loner and you're antisocial, that's something to be concerned about. Okay, all I see is a photograph and a green screen, so that's not gonna work. So if you're gonna try to troll me or do whatever, go ahead and do it. It says Zoom user, so I already don't trust you. So my thing is for the guys. Okay, Nola, change my mind. How are you? Change the narrative or change my mind. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Miss Nola. She's still in there. Oh, Lord have mercy. These people don't follow instructions. All right, Nola, I'm about you if you don't unmute yourself. You're in StreamYard right now. And if you don't unmute yourself, I'm going to go ahead and send you to the back because you're taking up space. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick you from the studio. Why? And it's the opposite way around for women. Women who are alone or loners tend to be better candidates for a long-term relationship. It's the opposite for men and women. Men who other men follow or co-signed on, because if men are following you, you've had to prove yourself to these guys. Men don't just follow men based on money. There are plenty of guys who have money where other men will not follow them. So if you have a man that other men respect or follow, then that's something else. So there we go. I'm supposed to be on Instagram today, but because of yesterday. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Instagram as well. Change my mind. Why won't I bring guys on Change My Mind? I may bring them on a little bit later, but I got to be honest, a lot of you guys come on and you have talking points that you have, you got to, we'll see. All right, there we go. Men's Week, been waiting for another segment focusing on us. Hope you talk more about escaping the reality of son, grandson, husband. We're going to talk about that because in the Esquire phase of life, it's going to be important It's the most important 10 years. It's the most important 10 years of your life, okay? And guys who focus on building a network and becoming socially competent, they can enter to the next phase, that whole GQ phase or that Playboy player phase. And Playboy does not mean irresponsible, just running the world banging chicks. Player really just means eligible bachelors. So GQ are just eligible bachelor. So maybe I maybe even change it to some form of bachelor, because Playboy and player have the connotation of a guy who's irresponsible, led by his Johnson, and that ain't it. Why is this important? Okay, change my mind. Request to join. Krista Campbell. Here we go. What am I wrong about? That's what I went over on Instagram. Phew. All right. Huh. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about change my mind. The things that I get right, things that I get wrong, or things that more people. Here's where we are. We're at a phase in life right now to where we understand the issues. Men think differently. Men are on the track to be men of value, think completely different than city girl summer, hot girl summer, and all that other kind of stuff. So that's what we know. We know that women think in terms of trying to secure the best kind of man they can for the lowest price. Women are trying to get men to invest as much up front without really. Women aren't fair dealing today in general, and men have recognized and made the switch. So now men and women are coming into relationships adversarially. Nobody wants to get hustled. Nobody wants to get screwed. No one wants to get played. That's the bottom line. So change my mind on the state of modern relationships. Change my mind on the fact that you need to find a man that you can follow. Don't ask to be on the video then if you're gonna. Here's what we're gonna do. Questions. Loner and lucrative. The GOAT need not showboat. A man's work, productivity, patriarchal legacy. Women who compliment, not collaborate. Okay, but here's the thing. Loner and lucrative. No disrespect intended. But being a loner and lucrative means you'll have a nice life. Then what? So what? I mean, cool. You enjoyed your life. So what? You made money. You were beholden to nobody. Then what? Oh, I was trying to jump back over. Yeah, I'm gonna just jump over here, back on Instagram. Yeah, let's do this. Why? See, I know it sounds appealing to man. Fuck all this shit, man. These hoes ain't loyal, and I ain't doing this, so I'm gonna just stack my bread and do what I'm doing. That sounds cool when you're under 35. It really does. It sounds cool. We're out here running and doing, making, stacking bread and taking no prisoners. That sounds. There's always been the Han Solo kind of gunslinger character. That's always sounded cool. But have you ever noticed you don't see any guys like that who are really popular over age 40. They become they one season it sounds cool, the next season they're the old man in the club. I'm not going to argue what path you should take because that's a losing argument for men. I'm arguing the fact that life is about happens outside, life happens about people, and today far too many women are saying they want to be wives, but they're especially far too many black women today. How do I want to put this? I can make the argument that the average modern black woman has been raised to think to talk about marriage, but to fear marriage. I put up the video today, why modern women will be homeless. It's because so many of these women are just out here just thinking, doing what? So what's the plan? What's the plan going to be if you don't end up in some sort of situation that's going to be long-term with a man? And here's the thing. I'm with the fellas on this one. Guys, this is why I think you should go up to about 35 and then only start dating women in their early 20s. Go through life as that gunslinger, and then around 33, 35, if you want a relationship, get a woman that's about 23. You're 33 and she's 23. Why? Because after age 30, it tips to you. And women know that. That's why so many women are over here trying to glean little knowledge from here or from there. But you can't if you ultimately are trying to just use it to take advantage of men. No. I think all men, women are wanting dudes who can put on a business suit and then put on joggers. Women want Clark Kent and Superman to be the same person. That is insane. So, ladies, you are looking for a man that doesn't exist. And even if he did exist, he wouldn't want you. This is why so many women tend to have a problem with my program, because when we talk about high value men of value, we're describing men that who outrank or would not deal with the average woman. And I'm good with that. That's why I started out talking about modern sexy savage. Women, gentlemen, are you a modern sexy savage? Modern just means current times. Current times with social media, integrated world, hyperly connected. Are you living in a place that's hot? There is no way in hell in 2022 I would be living in middle America. No offense, but whatever you're doing in middle America as a single man, you need to take it to a city that has NFL and NBA teams. Why? Because your network is so much more important today. Gone are the days that where you used to could just build a career slow. You have to not only be good at what you do, you have to have a network. You have to be able to bring it in. So here's the thing. Change my mind. All right. So friendly reminder, get the likes up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this too. I will open it up for just a minute. Change my mind. We're going to do the open panel thing now. Open all. I'm going to open it to all now. But here's the thing. If you're a guy, you call in, you must be on camera. If you're a guy and call in, you must be on camera. There is no way I'm going to, especially if you wanted me to change my mind on something, you got to be on camera in order to get this started. Because that modern sexy savage thing, let me lay it out as I'm getting into it. Understand something. There's the Esquire phase of life, 18 to 29. Then after 30, you're going to get into that GQ or that bachelor phase. The distinctions between those two are the bachelor is much more of a loner. He's much more of a loner. He wants to be to his own John. He tends to be on the path of being a high net worth individual. Tends to be, he an alpha male, but he doesn't need corporate structures. This guy is the kind of guy that a lot of guys think of as kind of like a John Wick kind of sexy, mysterious, and that kind of stuff. And that's only for a certain amount of guys. But then there's the other side, the guy who's GQ, sleek, modern, sexy, sophisticated, and whatever your style personality is, you can be a GQ dude and have a rakish personality, a rakish style of a rake, or you can have a GQ level of life and have the style and be kind of a rogue or refined. It doesn't matter. But what's important is you understand that over on one side, these guys value their independence more so than anything. Legacy, all that stuff, doesn't really matter to them. Kids don't really matter. If you're not on camera, I'm bouncing you. I said you got to come in and got to be on camera. If you're not going to come in on, okay, I've already said that once before. Okay, and here's the thing. You can be over here on that bachelor side and still be co-signed and by a lot of men. They either network with you, they work with you, they play golf with you, y'all smoke cigars together, y'all investment groups together. But guys that aren't signed off on or who don't have strong friendship relationships with men, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch becoming that guy. Because you got nobody who can check. You got nobody who can pull your coattails. Okay, go ahead, unmute yourself. Hello, how old are you?
How's it going, Kevin? I'm 29.
All right, what are you going to change my mind on?
Well, I was listening to what you were saying right now about moving to a town that's an NBA team, because I live in a small town, and I thought maybe I can comment on that.
Well, all right. When you're 55, what do you want life to look like for you socially?
When I'm 55, I haven't thought about that.
Well, okay, so what are you trying to change my mind on?
No, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything that they really. I'm not.
Okay, so the whole change of mind is where I thought maybe you're going to say the advantages of staying in a small town.
Right.
I'm not trying to change your mind. You're trying to give me a different perspective or something you feel like I don't see.
The only reason why I live here is all family's here. I live in South Texas, and I have a son who I'm not with his mom, but that's the reason why I haven't left. I'm a musician. Luckily, where I live, good to me. I have a lot of work. Obviously, I don't have the connect in Los Angeles or New York.
So you live there because no offense, you live there because you don't have any other options. If you had unlimited work in a major metropolitan area, would you still be in South Texas?
Well, it's because my son lives here.
No. One before the other. If you had unlimited work,
yeah,
would you stay in South Texas?
No.
Thank you.
No,
Your
I would
son
not.
lives there because, if I can just guess, because you can't afford to get custody of him and take him with you to where the work is. So I'm going to use this as an example. Oftentimes, we as men have been told to make our lack of being assertive as a virtue. I am living beyond my capability, beneath my capability, so I can be near my son. My opinion, that's bullshit. My opinion, you need to go become the best version of yourself and become a man your son is proud of, and then work your ass off to and your ex-wife comes to see you and your son.
No, I agree. I agree.
Okay,
It's
okay,
just
okay. But there's nothing really to change my mind on though. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys, us as men, the world is not going to give us sympathy. It'll be better to it'll be better to go off to LA, and it'd be better to go off to LA and become successful, because if you don't have, I got very bad news for you. If you don't have custody, if you got visitation, you have a child, but it's not the same as having one in the household. It's not the same as having one in the household. So I'm sorry. This is why marrying before you carry and staying with the mom is important, because once you got a split, it's pretty much a wrap. I'm sorry that it doesn't sound popular. Uh, who is this lady? Cherie Blackwell. You need to connect your audio. You're just sitting here with no microphone connected. Um, all right. So go ahead, Jalen. Hello. Hi. How old are you? Oh yeah. Um, sure. I don't know what you're going to change my mind about at 18. Okay, well, this is the change my mind segment. So, do you have something?
To like a big city, right? I believe like a L city, something like that, right? I believe.
Okay.
So what I was wanting to do is after college, um, it it I wanted to go to like the Woodlands, Texas. I've heard you speak about that place
Okay.
a
Well,
lot
change
because
my. What are you trying to change my mind on?
I
That you don't
I'm
need to
trying
be
to
in a
change.
big city?
Yeah, because I want to
Okay.
like.
Don't. Okay, but why? Okay.
All
See,
right, well,
first of all, you're young,
uh-huh.
and this is all opinion. What is life going to look like for you? What do you want life to look like for you at 60 years old, socially?
Okay, yeah, good question. So
Not
at 35, I want to have.
60.
Oh,
60. I
okay,
don't need
yeah, 60.
35.
All right,
I need
all right.
to the end. 60.
Okay,
Socially only. I don't care about your money, your property, your investments, your traveling. Socially. Your
okay, as
relationships. What do they look
uh-huh.
like?
I want to have a wife that's about 10 to 15 younger than
A
me.
wife.
Yep.
You want
Six.
kids.
I want 6 kids. Yeah.
And then how? Okay. This is why I don't, no offense, but this is why I don't talk to younger guys, because
I
you're
want
just,
six
okay.
six kids.
Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna help you out. What do you plan on going to school for? I'm going to ask you a question. What do you plan on going to school major?
Oh, computer science.
Best of luck.
That's not a major. That
Best of
is a
luck.
major.
6 kids. Best of luck.
Yep.
Uh huh. Good luck with that. It's not even. I mean, that's why I try. Here's the thing. If this is why I tend not to talk to people under a certain age, because look, your opinion is, you're free to your opinion, and I don't. It is foolish for me to try to change somebody's feelings or somebody's opinion. If you think you can move out into uh, the suburbs and find a wife that's going to cool, knock yourself out. Hello, Cherie Black.
Hi.
Change my mind.
To start, can you give me the synopsis on?
Well, what did you call in? You called in for a reason. What was the reason you called in for? Your audio just went out. Hello? Alrighty
Hello?
then. Don't know what just happened with her. Ray. Hello? Was that her audio or was that my audio? I don't see it.
She technically was first.
There it is. Hello?
Yes.
Ray?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now. How old are you?
27.
27. You said 27? Don't know what just happened to him. Strangest things are happening over here.
I think it's your audio.
Maybe so. Here's what I'm going to do. Just a second. I'll do this. It's possible.
Oh, I know it's not.
Let's try that
back
again.
on mute.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay.
Sometimes these streaming softwares, people always like, you need to get this technology. I'm like, you don't control the streaming software. StreamYards, Ecamm, sometimes they have issues. You're 27.
Yeah, I'm 27.
All right, change my mind. What are we changing my mind on?
I didn't really necessarily have anything to change your mind on. I saw nobody else was calling in, so I just wanted to call in. But I do live in.
Hold on. I'm trying to
city.
stay on topic. It's about change. Here's the whole thing. We've had a year plus of average at best. Men are do this, women do that. This is like this. Female nature, hypergamy. Look, we know it. We got catalogs of my videos, catalogs of other people's videos who came before me, catalogs of people who do this every day. There's going to be new people who come in, and there's a tremendous amount of backlog of content to talk about this side or that side. Over here, my goal has always been to help the men get what they want. And overwhelmingly, men want relationship. The problem is, in my estimation, that there are not enough wives for the men who qualify to be husbands. There are not enough good women out there for the men who don't even just want to have a long-term relationship. So that's why I'm having this conversation. It's not to just keep rehashing, but here's the problem. People on the outside of these conversations, because they didn't have a bad breakup or some crazy stuff happening, they're new to this, and it sounds like an echo chamber. Don't care that it sounds like an echo chamber. What I care is that we are moving the ball down towards solutions, whatever the solution you want. If you want a solution of having some sort of relationships with a woman, whatever that is, that's more my focus. That's why I say change the narrative. And that's what I'm trying to do, get the narrative you kind of push. Ms. Blackwell, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. So you want to change the narrative, change our mind. What's the misunderstanding that men have about dating women today? Or what do men need to do, improve, or do better in relationships? Those are all of your options, or you can ask a question.
Okay. To start, I would say in my microcosm of experience, often young men are not emotionally intelligent. I think that's due to emotions being like negatively correlated with women. But in the successful relationships I have had, it's been with men of my age, a few years older, who are very self-aware, emotionally intelligent, able to challenge a lot of the rhetoric we hear surrounding like relationships, just general relationships amongst
do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You ladies tend to talk in streams of consciousness, and we men are very simple creatures. Can you make it real simple?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make it real simple and real short? Because I'm losing the plot.
Absolutely. So I would say for modern men dating modern women, there can be a disparity between maturity.
Okay, maturity. How are you evaluating maturity?
Professionalism, relationships with your peers, communication skills.
Now, due respect. What does professionalism and maturity have to do with anything? You can be mature and not be a professional. So I need you ladies to understand. A lot of times you're coming in saying stuff, and I get it. You're trying to translate your feelings into words, but it's not making sense. When you say maturity, give me an example of what lacking a situation that lack maturity or need improved maturity. Give me an example. How about that? Let's try it that way.
Okay. So I would say lacking maturity, an example would be not researching some of the claims in which you're digesting in your content. That would be indicative of lacking maturity.
Okay, so just I want to be clear. We're talking about how men need to be better in relationships, and you say researching claims about things I make in my videos?
Correct. That is what I'm saying. I think that the inability to have the intelligence to do that is indicative of being immature.
This is where I start to get a little frustrated, because a relationship is between you and a man. Okay?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that ain't got shit to do with my videos or the claims I make.
Well, that was an example of what immaturity could look like.
I don't understand how those two things line up. But I'm willing to have the conversation. Because what it sounds to me, though, is it's like, well, a guy who would listen to you and not research the claims you make lack maturity.
Well, that's an example of lacking maturity, is not being a critical thinker. That's immature.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been in it?
September 2021.
Okay, ma'am. People watch a plethora of things, and you don't have time to research. Okay, okay. What do you think about the men who watch my content? Do you think they're critical thinkers?
I think some of them are.
What percentage
I think it's
of the
difficult
men who
to
watch
say.
My content, what percentage of my content what percentage of the men who watch my content do you think are critical thinkers?
I couldn't speculate on that because I don't know the numbers or the demographics of the people who consume your content.
Okay. I'm not trying to play gotcha, but you're not making maturity is patience, ability to understand that you don't necessarily need to rush into something. You need to do a little bit, but what does that have to do with somebody watching my content and how they behave in a relationship? Here's what I'm trying to demonstrate to you guys is how modern women have so much lost who we are as men. You don't even know how to talk to me, man. As a man, you're just verbally vomiting, and all the men in the chat room are like, "What is she talking about?" We aren't all wrong. If you can't communicate what's on your mind, is that a problem with the men, or is that a problem with women like yourself?
I think I've been able to fully communicate what's on my mind.
Okay, I'm going to go in the comment section. Okay, to all the men in the comment section. Okay, to the men in the comment section. This is members only, by the way. If you're a man
Okay.
and you're in the comment section and you clearly understand what this woman is saying, type
That's sweet.
68. If you have no clue what she's talking about, or you somewhat confused, type 25. I'm going to look at the 68s are the guys who understand, and the 25s are the guys who are as clear as mud. Okay, that's what we're going to look at. I'm going to create a poll. So go ahead. You were saying, what are some other things that we can do?
This is a speculation for having this conversation. What are other things men can do? I mean, I think it's individual to the man. I don't think you can necessarily umbrella all men under one expectation or one categorization.
Why do you ladies believe that? Why do modern women believe that you can't make generalizations? Because I get so tired of hearing women saying, well, you can't put everyone under. Yes, you can. It's called a generalization. And that is what intelligent people do. Okay, ma'am. I'm going to show you what I'm going to
Oh,
go
I
to
can
the
see
chat.
it. I'm here on your
Okay, so I
YouTube
have
channel
yet to
as
see
well.
a 68. Okay. I have yet to see a 68.
Okay.
Okay. So just by being a rational person, you're not communicating clearly. It has nothing to do with us as the men. So that's all I'm trying to get you ladies to understand, that it's not always on the men. Well, go ahead.
Well,
I asked
don't
about
think that's, I don't
I
think
asked
that
about
that's correct.
generalizations, because you said, well, we can't classify, or bottom line is, why is it today that so many people don't want to make generalizations?
It's really difficult to answer these vague questions.
Well, you said, well, you can't
I
put all
really,
men under one umbrella. What does that mean?
because I mean, based on what I viewed in your content, I don't know the majority. I don't know in my own circle the men you're talking about. I don't know in my own circle the women you're constantly talking about. So when I'm viewing this, I'm not really sure where these people
Okay,
are and where they
so I want
exist.
to be clear. Based upon my content, you don't see that
Hmm.
in your circles?
Correct.
Okay, that's fair. But
Hmm.
my content is with the public. Women of all races, of all ages. And there is a through line. So just do you accept that? Please don't worry about the comment section. Talk to me.
I'm sorry. I was reviewing that. Do I accept that? Okay, yes. Your audience is the
Not my
public.
audience, ma'am. Not my audience. French
Hmm.
toast, not the audience. See, now we're about to get into a problem. We're going to have a problem. I don't even pay attention to the comment section. You need to have the conversation, because you're not doing too well communicating with me. And I'm doing my best to have a conversation with you. Now I'm about to lose my patience. I accept that your anecdotal circle may be different, but the content I do is with the public. It's not just my audience. What about the women that call in? That's the content, not the commenters.
Correct. And often I feel like I only see two extremes in the women who call in.
Which are?
I mean, you either have a highly educated woman in her late 30s or early 40s, or you have a very young woman who's making less than $50,000 a year.
74% of
only
black women
hear from these sides.
74% of black women make less than $50,000 a year. It's 3 and 4.
I'm aware of that statistic.
So, ma'am, due respect, I don't get. Okay, how much of my content have you watched?
Not all of it for sure.
So you've seen women, either educated women or young women making less than, ma'am. This is where I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna open up a question to the audience. Move you to the side,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen of the audience. Do you think education has made women better or worse? I personally think education has made most women worse because this is what we get: a bunch of shit that sounds smart that sounds dumb as fuck. So, you want to get out of the comment section?
I'm sorry. I mean, are we back here? Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
what I'm about to do is I'm about to make the show about you, and I'm trying to really have the conversation. So I wish you would turn off the comment section so we can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely. I would love to have this
because
talk. I would.
Can you do that until you're off, until we're done talking? Can you avoid looking at the comment section? You say that
Yes,
you've
I've
seen
already
two
agreed to that.
extremes. You've only seen two extremes. Well, let me
Hmm.
ask you, which one of those
Right. The
extremes,
majority of them are the two extremes.
which one of those two extremes that you say you saw, which one would make a good wife for the average man?
Which one would make a good wife for the average man? The average man, what is making $40,000 a year, correct?
Whatever you define them as average.
Okay, but just based on
Which one of the
what,
two? Which one of the
based
two
on
extremes?
your guidance or your
Which one of
insight.
the, if the women you've seen on my show are a sampling of the women out there,
Hmm.
you say you've seen two extremes. Which would be a good? Which one of any of the women that have called in would be of the two extremes would be a good wife for a man, average man, whatever. Pick whatever. Which of these women would be good wives?
A young partner earning less than 50,000, or an older partner, or an older partner making, let's say, six figures. I would say definitely the six figures partner.
The six-figure partner. So a woman making
Absolutely.
six figures would be a good partner for her. What percentage of women make over six
For the
figures in this
average
country?
man.
Yeah. So for an average man, a good wife would be a woman making six figures.
Absolutely. Because the average man only makes 40,000.
You couldn't make this stuff up.
You can't make this stuff up. Why would a woman making six figures be a good partner for a man, for an average man?
Well, so I live in Maryland, where
Right. Uh-huh.
I'd say the average house costs 450,000. I don't think you're not coming close to affording that on a combined income of $90,000.
Uh-huh.
You're
Right.
not even able to purchase a home. So
Okay, ma'am, that's nice, but let's get on down to the road. What percentage of women in this
yeah,
country what percentage of black women make over $75,000?
I know it's a marginal percent, maybe
Marginal.
9. Is that what you quoted? Is it 9? I
So
have to look it up.
nine. So a good wife for an average man would be a woman that's in the what, 5%?
Well, I mean,
This is becoming a kind of
I
painful.
don't think that, well, I don't think that the metric
Whew.
of income is like all you look at. Like if someone has a higher
Yeah.
income, they also have higher
Mm-hmm.
discipline and higher work ethic.
Right.
Uh,
Uh-huh. Gentlemen, if you're ever on a date with a woman like that, especially if it's a blind date or it's a setup, leave. The sex is not even worth it. It's not. Just leave. Leave. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Leave. She really, oh. Why did I let her go on for so long? Because she fits what I would consider to be the attorney archetype. A woman who thinks because she has a degree and a library card that she's smart. She's all. Here's the funny thing. Let me show you guys something. This is what she's doing. She's worried about what you guys are saying about her in the comment section. This is the modern woman. This is it. Social media and the opinions of people that they don't know. This is why I get so many when I try to let women know that women care more about the opinions of other random opinions than men. How many times did I ask her, man, focus on the conversation we're having. Make it simple. And unfortunately, it's not much different in the dating world. Women like her are walking around out here dating, and they're playing characters. You don't know who that person was. You might as well have written a script for her. And it's sad because men are getting the bad rap for not being in long-term relationships. But how do you be in a relationship like that? She still, guys, she really cares. You're like, what are they writing? So I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. You got your 3 minutes? Did you get the 3 minutes of fame?
I'll make you famous.
Did you get it?
I'll make you famous.
Oh my gosh. That was painful. I'm sorry. I need to reset my brain after that one. No, actually, I take that back. That wasn't the attorney. I misspoke. That was the psychologist or psychiatrist. That's what that was. The attorney is much more boisterous. This one is the one that, library teacher with a library card. Ma'am, I'm sorry. You did it to yourself, ma'am. I didn't do it. Candy. Tastes like candy. Hi, Candy. You're on StreamYard. How are you? I can see it when you walk. Even when you talk, it takes over me. Say something, Candy. You're on. Let's flash her on the screen, shall we? You're on, lady. Say something. She's not saying anything. Her audio's not connected. Check your audio. Just like I do. Woo! I toss and turn in my bed. Poor Candy, your microphone's not working. No one can hear you. So, for the things you do. Bye, Candy. I can feel it when you walk. Even, here we go. Hello. Let's try again. Say something, Candy. Nope, still can't hear her. I wanna know if you feel it too. Just like I like. That's all right. No, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Nope, you've had enough. That was too painful. You're right. I'm wrong. You're smart. Enjoy your $400,000 house in Maryland. We're done. Hi, Nola.
How are you?
Hi. I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Can I not be on
That's fine. That's
YouTube?
fine. Did you happen to witness
Um,
the last train wreck?
I did.
Did I
I'm on
miss
this one.
something? Did I miss something? Please
I
tell.
see.
If I missed something, tell me.
I honestly know what she was trying to ask, so
Okay.
I can't say that for her. Um, for myself,
Okay. Go ahead. What happened? Say again. Mm-mm-mm. Like I do. Yeah, I'm here.
um, so I'm under the military and police archetype. I'm about to graduate college and become a second lieutenant in the Army. And I guess my question for you is do you think problem for me to like be a wife, but as well also wanting to do well in my career as a military officer, is that a problem for a
The
man?
problem being a
What?
wife and being in the military,
Well, yes,
having
an
military
officer
career.
in the military.
What do you want? What do you want? Okay, officer in the military. Are there any female officers in the military who are married with children? Do you have any?
Yes,
Is that common? The women
it's
who attain, oh
common,
no, the
but
women who attain the rank or the job you want to have, is it common for them to have husbands and children?
let's say for white women it is, but not as much women.
For white women, it is, but not as much for black
Yes,
women.
no, I
Then it's not
don't
a
see a
problem.
lot
Then
of.
it's not a problem of the career. By simple deduction, if other women can have the career and the
Right.
lifestyle, then you got to go to the woman. And if you made the distinction saying, I don't see black women doing it, why? Do you see black women married to non black men
Yes,
having the career and children?
yes, yes,
So it's
sir.
really black women married to black men.
Yes, and I would
Damn,
prefer
damn,
that.
damn. That's where it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. That's what I'm not supposed to talk about. Um, you ever heard of a term called pro-black?
Yes, I have.
Pro-black means what? Wanting to keep things black, keep the black culture, keep the black race, and all that stuff, right? Right?
Well,
Something like that.
I think
Uh,
for
uh,
me, oh,
what does
sorry,
it mean in
sorry.
general, though? Not in specific. Not in general. What is it? What is it based upon?
Yeah, just to keep it with the community
The community
and
is built
not
up of what?
a black people.
Uh-uh. Communities aren't built up of people. Communities are built up of
Oh
what?
no, resources.
Families.
I don't know. Family, yes,
See, the
right.
fact that, no offense, the fact that I'm having this is a basic arithmetic. This is general, this is
Right.
basic math. Communities are not groups of individuals. The black community today is a bunch of individuals. Do we have a community like we had 75 years ago?
I don't think we do.
You don't think we do. The answer is either we do or we don't,
We don't.
because we don't
Not
have family.
no.
So if the black
Right.
community, if being pro-black is about being black and keeping the black community, which the basic building block of the black community is the black family, how do black men become pro-black if black women don't stay in marriages with black men, don't honor their marriages with black men like they do with other groups of men, and in general are afraid to marry? I've been thinking about that question for a minute. She's like, God damn.
Honest.
Good
I
one. It's
don't
a good
know.
question, ain't it?
I mean, it is. I mean, from my personal experience, both parents are still married, like 26 years this day.
But my point is,
so
is it if you're a man and you consider yourself to be pro-black, is it more important that you have a family and make children, or is it more important that you marry a black woman? That's the conversation I'm gonna start after Men's Week. So y'all see where it's coming. Because look, you can only make families with women who want to be married and stay. But just like you asked the question, can I be married and have a career and family? And I asked, do you see other women? And you said, yeah. And I asked, are these not? You said they're not black. So black women. All right. I went to black women and I said, well, do you see black women married to non-black men achieving and attaining other things? You said yes. The issue is when black women, according to your breakdown, the kind of what I kind of pieced together, is it's fair to say that it's not the career, it's not the education. So I'm not anti-career, I'm not anti-education. I'm anti the independent streak it tends to foster in our women relative to us. Because you can have educated, intelligent black women who wholly hold on to non-black men. Yeah, I'm going there after Men's Week. Ooh, go ahead. What's your last question? What happened? Nola, you bounced out again. What's going on with her audio, man? Your audio. What happened? Oh, Nola, your audio. Say again?
Can you hear me?
I can now. Are you on like headphones or something like that?
I am.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
But my final question, so when I heard you speak about like the police and army archetype, and it kind of just sounded like men tend to avoid these women, which I understand because in my school and in the field that I'm going into.
You got to get to the question. You got to get to the question.
I guess how would you suggest that I become like what a man would need, but still being in that industry and doing?
Join in on third week of February when we launch Wife School and Charm School.
Okay.
And you want to marry a black man?
I want to, but I'm open to anyone.
No,
I'm not going to close myself.
The fact that you're open, is there not enough black men who want to be husbands?
I would say where I'm at, I don't think that they're in the space to do that yet.
Okay. Are white men in the same spaces as black men getting married to women like yourself?
Yes, I would say.
Then it's not a fucking problem with black men. No. That's why I'm good at what I do. Y'all always put the emphasis on the men aren't they? Look, white men don't have to go out and be Superman to get a wife. Only black men have to go out and be Superman Tupac. And the way you fix this is we're going to need to put black women who want to have a future. You need to go to wife school and charm school to learn how to treat your husband, your black husband, like you treat your job and you treat the white guy. That's the ultimate. And I put it out there. Run, tell that. Because you can't.
But what if you're not? I'm sorry.
You asked. What if you're
not?
But
what if you're not? You're not checking for the white guy. Like I'm not.
Yeah, but the question is not check. Is not the question is not whether or not you're checking for a white guy. How many relationships have you had?
Honestly, none. I'm 22,
What's
so I haven't
okay? Well,
been in a serious
that's a different
relationship
subject. That's a
yet.
different subject. Come back on a different
Right.
day. It's a different subject. It's a different subject. Different subject, and it's kind of off the topic. Come back on life school. But the fact of the matter is, at 22, it's really strange. It's some see. It's not. What I'm starting to see is more femcel black women, more women who are not in relationships. We are becoming so far individualized. Yeah, we got to do something different. All right, I'm going over to StreamYards. Bring some folks in from over there. Let's see, Candy. So, hi, Candy. How are you? What's that music in the background? You got to turn that crap off. All right. What you got for me? Okay. How old are you? So the context I said about women needing to date, um, having age gap dating. Uh, do you know why I said that? Well, well. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Um, you said that men end up not being as optimistic. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. So, well, the problem I said, the reason I said women need to date men who are older is because a lot of women in their 20s want a lifestyle that men in their 20s can't afford. Let me go ahead and bounce this dude out. Stop chatting up the place, dude. Um, okay, y'all can start with the private chats. Yeah, just kind of wait in the queue. But here's it because it keeps popping up on the screen. Here's the thing: you're putting men. How old are you talking about first? You're 33. Do you want to be married? You want children? How many? Do you have any kids already? All right. So, what age do you think your husband would be? Uh huh. When you're pregnant and married with the first child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills? You want to have to work to pay significant bills. Okay. So that means you want to have to go to work to pay a substantial chunk of the rent, lights, food, savings, medical. You want to have to do that while being pregnant. Okay. Okay, that's fine. What percentage what overall percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? Meaning you have to bring it in. Okay. What state do you live in? Texas. Two children. Do you want your children to be able to go to college? Okay. Do you want to pay for that or you want them to have to take out loans? Do you want you and your husband to pay for the kids' education or do you want to take out loan? Want them to have to take out uh, loans? Okay. Do you want your okay? So, ma'am, that already puts you in the upper class, not middle class. Okay. You want $1 million worth of children. Each kid is about $484,000 at the upper class level. Being able to pay for college, just what we consider kind of the Cosby thing of the '80s. All right. Um, what do you do for a living? Teacher. Um, how much do you think a man is going to need to make to have to be able to afford a wife, two kids, in Texas? Okay, 100,000. How many? What percentage of men make that? That's okay. But ma'am, it's gonna to run a family of four. What you're talking about closer to $275,000 a year. You want $1 million worth of kids, plus you got to retire. My point is, what man at 34 is making that kind of money? Typically, they're not. Men hit their financial peak, hit their financial stride at 45 to 55. No matter how you ladies think, you all women like yourself often come in thinking, I don't need this high value man or this that, but you still want a damn near luxury kind of lifestyle based upon the kind of man you want. And here's the thing, you're going to have to meet him at his level. He doesn't have to meet you at your level. Typically, it's easier for, and the bottom line is this. I asked all those questions to ultimately get to the fact of the kind of man you want with the kind of income and earning potential that he needs to come with to provide the kind of lifestyle that you would like to lead, right? What does that kind of man want from a wife? How tall are you? Dress size? Dress size? 5'6", 178? That's about a 10, 12. You may be able to squeeze into an 8. That's a bit of a 10, 12. Your face, I can, no, ma'am, come on. What's the most you weigh? Okay, that's fine. Okay, but you can see, you ladies, this is how they do it, gentlemen. Ladies feel like the smallest size they can squeeze into is their size. That's what they tell it. That's not what it is. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What's the most you've ever weighed? And dear heart, listen what I'm about to say. This is important. Normally, you about what? 180. But understand something, man. The 5'6" is 178. You weigh more than a man. The average height of a man in this country is 5'10", and he's 178 pounds. My point is that you have to look at the kind of man you want, and he is going to look at the marketplace. I am a man earning in the top 10% of all men, and this is where you got to start looking at it. And he's going to look to the marketplace. He can get a younger woman who weighs less and has lower expectations. And you're talking about these guys and the issues they tend to come with. My point is you don't have any. What leverage does a 33-year-old woman in an average cute uh, woman who needs to lose weight in the sexual marketplace? What kind of leverage do you have? That's as nice as I can put. Is that really the question? The stuff these men come with? Or is it, I don't want a man who's up here. And whatever he comes with, you better get your shit around it if you want the kind of life you want. Or what's the alternative? Average men know that women like yourself, you're a teacher, right? What grade? You will be. I will consider you an average woman. You make average money. You're 5'6". You say a dress size 8. I say 10, 12. But you weigh 178. You know, you're well, I consider to be average looking. Okay. Average to cute. Okay, cool. Average men live in the same world you do. And they know that women like yourself settle for average men because you can't get the man you want. That's what my programmers showed. Average men that average women think y'all average women think the men that they are really qualified for are beneath them. That's what started this whole thing. The whole average at best video. I asked that woman, why can't you just get an average man? She was 2 years older than you. Did you ever watch that video? Go what? But you said, but yeah, you would based on the lifestyle you want to lead. Well, that's the problem. That's part of the problem, though, isn't it? That part of the problem. But listen, what I'm saying. That's part of the problem. You ladies have been made to believe relationships are just about attraction and not about the numbers. You should be picking a man based upon his ability to provide now or in the future, and you should be picking him when you're young. Man, a man who's making the kind of money you're talking about, why would a 35-year-old man, let's take it away from you so it's not so personal. You're a 35-year-old man, and he needs to be taller than you. So he's 5'10", 6 feet tall. Six-figure earnings. He's already in the top. He's already in the top 3% of men. That means if you put 100 women, he's and 100 men, he's in the top 3%. Why do those men? What do you tend to see those men picking average women after they're already where they are? See, that's the point. See, my hope. And the reason they keep doing this, guys, is because that's all they got left. They got to have hope. But what if? But what if? But what if you would have got married at 22 years old to an average man and you would have stuck by him and earned your way up versus waiting till you are in the danger zone? Danger zone! And now, hypergamy basically states that you need a man. I'm sorry. This is why so many women waited too long. You don't want anybody to settle for you, do you? The men don't want to be the one that you settled for. How we got here is I said that you said that I told younger women that they need to date older men. They do. Because honestly, the man that will likely accept you, if he's made the kind of money you're talking about, he's gonna be an older man. And he's gonna be picking a woman for different reasons. If you want a 35-year-old guy earning $100,000, he's gonna pick the hotter version of you. That's just straight up. And you would too if you were in his position. Look, after 30, the game changes. This is why I tell women that you need to strike while the iron is hot, and many of you don't. That makes sense though? Okay. Hold on. Hi Ebony, how are you? How old are you? Oh, another 33-year-old. What do you, what are you changing my mind on? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What happened? Okay. What freaking world just happened? Hold on. It did it again. Oh my God, this is getting on my nerves. You're a widow. Okay, you're widowed, and you want to change my mind on the danger zone. Okay, what does the fact of does the okay? How do you want to change my mind? Good. What is it in the danger zone? Does the danger zone have anything to do with your specifics? Meaning, meaning, 27 to 35, where women need to focus like a laser on the outcomes you want. Right. That's what the danger zone is. You lost your husband, right? But you have twin daughters. How old? Okay, ma'am. Unfortunately, what do you what do you do for a living? Okay, so you want any more children? No. When they hesitate like that, that means no. And the danger zone is no respect. Let's just get right to it. The danger zone doesn't care about your situation or my situation. Unfortunately, it still comes down to what men want, and men typically don't want women with with twins, 10-year-old twins. I mean, this it has nothing to do with the danger zone. The fact of the matter is, unfortunately, you lost your husband. You would be looking for a stepfather. Whether you call him a stepfather or not, he'd be a stepfather. And that man doesn't even get kids with you. Then why would he want to marry you? Okay. Okay. Right. Right. So let's look at it from a man's standpoint of view. Doesn't sound like you're in the best financial position. So a man would have to. Oh, listen, listen, listen. I know it's not a judgment, man. But a man is still a cost benefit calculator. A men offer marriage for an outcome. Men don't go offer half potentially half their shit and to be a burden and to deal with the state just because they like your pork chops. There needs to be an outcome, and it's usually children. So you're saying I would like to have children, but if we had more kids, I can't afford it, so he's gonna have to be able to afford it. But you need to realize that he's gonna have to come through the door helping you with two kids anyway. And every dime he put into your two kids would be a dime he's taking out of his new child with you. And the hesitation, right, wrong, or indifferent that you made when I said something about kids, it was because of the realities of life. I can't, and it has nothing to do with the danger zone. It has more to do the fact that you know, I talk about a sexual marketplace value as a general concept. It's just lower when you're older with kids. It has really nothing to do with the dangers. It has little less to do with the danger zone than anything else. So well, I don't. So the debate's really not about the danger zone. Or is it? Uh-huh. Okay, here's the hardcore question though, right? The hardcore question. Here's the hardcore question. You ready for a hardcore question? Do you have a man of value who's seriously vetting you to become his wife? That he's seriously vetting you to become his wife? No. No, no, there's no opinions, ma'am. If a man of value is seriously vetting you to be his wife, there's no opinion. You know it. He makes it known. The answer is no. That's why you're having to still one foot in, one foot out. I want this kind of outcome, but I may need to get a backup plan, which is a higher degree in this and that in case I become single. And the likelihood is you will be single. That's the unfortunate. The statistical probability is much more likely that you will be single. It has nothing to do with the danger zone. It has everything to do with the fact you're 33 and you're a widow with twins, 10-year-olds. That's what it has to deal with. It's not the danger zone. So appreciate it. There's no need to beat a dead horse on this subject, though. Hello. All right. So, guys, I'm gonna just be honest. It's like part of this is kind of Vanessa. Your audio isn't connected. Najee, I'm go ahead. Your audio is not. Najee. A lot of times, man. A lot of times, women just don't like the fact that they are where they are. Hello. How old are you? All right. What are you trying to change my mind on? Okay, okay. I appreciate it, my friend, but I'm at the end of the show, and I really got to get to the last part. It's after. Okay, I want to do. Okay, it's if it's not something you're off the topic. Okay, so thank you. No, 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 no. You're off the topic, and I have to. I can't give you any different treatment like everybody else. So appreciate it, but you guys got to stay on the topic. Hello, go ahead and mute yourself. Oh, okay. All right, no problem. Unmute yourself. Go ahead. Yeah, how old are you? All right, what are you going to change my mind on?
That what you say makes sense, but I also have a lot of points that go against it.
Where do you live?
Right now, I live in Boston, and I live in a big city, but I'm considering moving somewhere where you are saying I should live.
You're not a young man though.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I mean, you can choose wherever you want to live after 31,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about where you're a young man, 18 to 29.
Uh, but Kevin,
Okay.
I mean,
That's my okay. I just want to be clear.
yeah,
You if you're thinking about doing something that's individually for you, but you live in Boston and you're 31.
yeah,
Okay, you're in Boston. You've been there. Wherever
yeah.
you go, you take that experience with you. Thank you. There's no need to. I mean, you can. Everybody has their opinions, and that's cool. But see, it's better to have lived in Boston even for a year and go somewhere else versus Vanessa. Your audio is not connected. Versus living your entire life in Tulsa. Shout out to Tulsa. But there's a difference. When I go back home to Oklahoma City, and I've lived in Dallas, Houston, New York City, Atlanta, Austin, there is a difference when I talk to people who've never left. They know it too. Unmute yourself. Hi.
Hello?
How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good,
I
how are
am
you?
well. How old are you?
27.
All right. What are you going to change my mind on?
Well, first things first, is it possible to not be on camera?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So the first thing is, I've listened to your show. I've been listening to you for probably well over a year. But I also hear you talk a lot about working for your high value man, right? So I guess my question is then, if women didn't have careers nowadays, for example, I'm not like a teacher. I'm not a teacher, but for example, if you were a teacher, and you weren't working, then how would the world work if most women decided to exit the workforce and go work for high
Let me tell you
value men?
exactly how it worked. Glad you asked that question. Flashback to 1940.
Mm-hmm.
1937. The United States was not involved in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the workforce was male. Women could afford to stay
Mm.
at home, raise their kids, and they could live on one salary because the businesses you had, the factories or whatever, had a set labor pool, right, of men.
Okay.
Men went over to war, and those factories and things like that, there were no men left. So they had to let the women come in or risk shutting the business down, right?
Mm.
Women went to work.
Okay.
The machines run whether your man pushed the button or a woman pushed the button. When the men came back home, the women left the workforce and went back home and made the baby boom. But the lesson had been learned by business. We ramped up entire war production. We made tanks and rations and everything else. And business is about profit. You're a nurse or something? You work in healthcare?
Who, me? No,
Yeah.
are you asking me?
What do you do for? What's your career?
I work in HR.
HR.
I'm an Avenger.
If I doubled the amount of HR professionals and the work had to be done, the only way I can employ double the amount of HR professionals would be to do what?
I guess I'm not sure.
If there's $100,000 HR budget,
Okay.
and the work is being done by one person, paying $100,000,
Right.
but I got
Mm-hmm.
twice as many people that need the job. What do? You cut the
Yeah.
salary in half and hire two people.
Right. Right.
That's what we
Okay.
have happening right now. We have done what it's stupidest thing. Whenever you increase the
Oh,
labor pool, you decrease the pay. Wages have been
that makes
flat for the
sense.
last 40 years. People
Okay.
aren't getting
That makes
rich in the
sense.
middle class. The middle class is not growing. The lower class and upper classes are growing. This is why when the pandemic hit, so many women saw, wait a minute, I'm out here working, and 74% of black women earn less than $50,000. They're like, why am I doing this when it would be easier for me to stay at home, tighten our budget, not have this, not that, get with my baby daddy and consolidate. You ladies have been forced out to become taxpayers and renters. So you're asking, how would women survive? You would survive just fine if you had a husband. Well,
Right,
that's the
right.
problem. So many of you can't, so many of you are independent, been independent so long. And on Instagram, I had a post that had 200 replies where a sister said, I'm sorry, I've invested too much into my career to sacrifice it. And
Yeah.
you know what that sister did? Social worker, $55,000.
I'm on the social worker. That's funny.
But my point is, y'all, you in particular, black women treated college and work like the 13th Amendment, like it was the Emancipation Proclamation. It matters more to y'all to be
Right.
free, but you're free to do what? Become the next group of homeless. You're going to start seeing more women 50 and over become homeless because I have a question to ask you, and I'll bring it back down. 22 million jobs were quit in the last 2 months. 2 months.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We had the great great female recession. What happens when marriage filings were up in 2019 and 2020 at a 50-year high everywhere in every other race except the black race? That means more people will start to get married.
Right.
If women are leaving the workforce in record numbers, millions, what color who are the women going to be left in the workforce in 10 years?
Probably
The
black women.
unmarried ones. The single
Most likely
ones.
black women.
There you go. And then who's going to be so I asked this question of a few PhD friends of mine, a few black women. I said, you can make an argument in the next 5 to 7 years that if you look at women in the workplace, they're going to overwhelmingly be black.
Right.
Because all the other women are going to be staying at home with their husbands, raising their kids. And y'all going to be in the factories making the donuts.
Listen, I totally agree. Actually, and I want to quickly say that I actually got into an argument with my coworkers yesterday about some of my thoughts. And one of them said to me, "You are one of the only people my age that like think the way that you do." I mean, like they hate the things that I say.
Well, are these
like they
black
hate
women?
the things that I like. One of them is like,
oh crap, wrong iPhone. Okay, well, sorry about that. It's after midnight anyway, too, so we're a little bit late. Look, y'all. That's the net of it is switching these computer systems suck. Look, I said it before and I say it again. This is going to be a mess. Tomorrow night's show is going to be dope, especially as we lead into Men's Week. But I want to ask that question: If being pro-black, what is the black community? A community is built of families. A community is built of families. A community is not built with individuals. I'm going to ask a controversial question. If judged on the anecdotal or even on the evidence that we have, the facts, data, and statistics that we have are out there, but judged based on the general prevailing sentiment from a significant amount of black women regarding the structure of marriage. I'm afraid of it. I didn't grow up in it. Whatever it is, we're going to call it anti-marriage. Whatever it is, the overwhelming, documented, observable reality regarding a not insignificant amount of black women is they are not rushing headlong into marriages that they want to last for 50 years. Not what it is. I offer as evidence my channel for the last 2 years and the videos I placed up Today, modern women are going to be homeless. Like when I asked that one sister, why are you so anti-marriage? That's not a new concept. So the point is, men cannot force women to do anything in a free country. So if men want wives and children, they must pick from the women who want to be wives. Not want to get married, want to be wives, and want to stay in a relationship, marriage for a lifetime. Pause. 98% of women base their options, or they think their options are, on short term. This is even women who are 8s and 9s. Women who are adjustable 6s, 8s, and 9s do not have men of value that they want vetting them to be their wives. And one of the biggest disconnects is men look at women and think that woman has all these guys out there wanting to marry her. They don't. They have 98% of the men that these women deal with want to sleep with them. Something short term. But you go ask a woman who's a 6, adjustable 6, and 8 or 9, do you have a man of value actively vetting you to be your wife and wants to pay your bills and this, that? They will tell you, yeah, I have somebody who wants to marry me, but they want me to work 50-50 or whatever. Meaning that these modern women who are anti-marriage, or these women right here who may be okay with marriage but procrastinating, don't have the leverage. But effectively, it doesn't matter whether they have divested, whether they're virulently anti-marriage, whether they're just afraid, or whether they're just moving slow. They are not in the available marriage market. They are not in the available marriage market, okay? So if they're not in the available marriage market, what do men who want to be married do? If black men want to get married, you can make a case that one of the most pro-black things you could do is just get a wife. Whatever wife you get. Oh, I'm going to start a fire week after next. I'm going to start a fire week after next. I'm going to come back with a more coherent argument. Today was a little off because of the audio issues and this and that. It has been a hell of a last 4 weeks. But, we build it while we fly, baby. Think about it. I want you guys to think about a wrench. Can you imagine if pro-black men, if men who are like, I'm pro-black, start coming in? Look, you got to marry a woman because the kids are going to be the race of the father. Can you imagine if pro-black men start saying, hey man, I had to marry me a Marisol or Marlene or Jamila? What? Well, Kim is afraid of marriage. Look, we're going to, oh, I'm going to start some shit with this one. So I got to figure out how I'm going to put this together. Next week, men's week. Week after that, look, next week, it's for the young guys. The young guys go 18 to 34. Next week is your week. Bring your questions. Let's talk about it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm a young man out here, I'm a modern sexy savage. I'm a mercenary. I am not worried about anything because it's an unfair dating market. And then when you reach 35, I am making the most ruthless, savage choice I can. That's what I want for the young men under 35. Modern, sexy, ruthless, savage. Godfather's on your side. You don't have to have my style personality. Even if you're much more of a streetwear, more of a casual dude, modern, sexy, ruthless, savage. So when you reach 35, and if you decide to go the bachelor route, cool. But if you decide to go the family network route, I don't want you to go from here, slip back and become where's that note? Where's Jesse Lee at? Beta. I don't want you slipping back and becoming beta. Talk about I give you the happy wife, happy life. I don't want you. No. I want you to be, if you choose, a savage, a modern, sexy, ruthless, savage husband. I want you to have some whatever you like. Yes, she's working for you. See, oftentimes over here, men who are anti long-term relationships are talking about it in terms of fear, family courts, losing this and that, so on and so forth, which are all valid and viable concerns. Bump that. Gonna change the conversation. I mean, there has to be an evolution past the fear part, starting to be aggressive and assertive and becoming offensive and saying, yeah, I'm gonna take, come on, savages. To my patrons, guys, I have a video I'm gonna upload on Saturday. Like I said, the academy, the family over here, and the patrons, the family, this year is gonna be about building the community. It's the tribe. Understand something. I got love for my lone wolves, my bachelors, my lone wolves, but I personally think you only get so far as a loner. You need a tribe. How many of you guys are watching the Book of Boba? The Book of Boba on Overtime. We're in overtime. How many of you guys are watching the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus? The Book of Boba Fett, the last episode, episode 4, was some of the best TV I've seen in years. Some of the best TV I've seen in years. And I'm gonna tell you, what made it killer is Boba Fett, one of the most renowned mercenary bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe, survived the Sarlacc pit. And you see him changing from Boba Fett, the loner, to getting with Fennec Shan. And he said it last night. He learned from some Tusken Raiders. That's when you down. When you failed, you got a bankruptcy, you done fell off, you done lost your job, you got a divorce or whatever. That's that Tusken Raider phase of life. It's necessary. Boba woke up in the Sarlacc pit when he was down bad. You may be in a Sarlacc pit, then he had to go get rescued by the Tusken Raiders. He got punked on. But he manned up out there and he became a part of their tribe. Unfortunately, shit happened. Go watch this series. I'm into this series. But they came by and they rode on his people. And Boba said, I got something for him. He found his ship called the Slave One, the Firebug. He got that. Him and Fennec Shan went over to the Sarlacc pit, looked around to see if he could find his grip, couldn't find it. But then he found them people. He found them people that did his folks bad. And you know what he did? Yeah, he went full bore ruthless savage on them. That's right. He went full bore ruthless savage on them. He squared those debts. And that's what I want you to think about. Once you get past the rage or the world ain't fair, you weren't told this, all of it fair feelings. Eventually, you got to make peace with your past. And now Boba is in a place of like, I'm tired of working for idiots who only send us on missions that get us killed. We're smarter than the people we work for, and we can do better. Boba is not trying to rule with fear. I'm going to rule with respect. This is a dope ass show. And the culmination is he said something sitting on the sands of Tatooine talking to Fennec Shan. He said, I've learned you can only get so far by yourself. You need a tribe. We are building a tribe over here. A tribe. I work with mercenaries. I work with folks on a mission, but I tell you, I'm cautioning you guys from becoming the lone gunslinger who has no friends. Always be kind of wary of somebody who has no friends and no relationships. It's kind of like that Killmonger character. Killmonger was a good character, but even in What If, they used him against Zola. Why? Because they were completely self-interested. You don't want to become a Zola and you don't want to become Killmonger. You'll be fucking hanging out with Doctor Strange in the Pocket Universe. Yeah, your Godfather's, I'm a geek like that. I'm with y'all. You got somebody who's only down for themselves. And you can't trust people like that. You can't trust Zola. You can't trust Killmonger. Doctor Strange Supreme, he was already in the ruined universe. Take that as a lesson. Even the Watcher had to sit back and stop watching and said, I was wrong. I need your help. And he put together a tribe, the Guardians of the Multiverse. That's why I said 2+ years ago, before the world knew about me like it did now, when I was having my men in trainings, I said, guys, life happens out there and life is about people. It's about people, relationships. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have relationships, stuff is missing. What am I talking about? Let me help you out right here. That's what I'm talking about. And slow down. I know people, what are you talking about? Don't get mad at me because you're not cultural, because you don't understand pop culture. Guardians of the guts. And look here, man. If you want to be on the pump, if you want to be on the transactional stuff too, hey, man, Godfather got love for you. I am not saying one side is better than the other. I'm not this whole chicken argument versus game. I'm not saying one side is better than the other. I'm saying all of it should be for your advantage as a man. See, that's where a lot of, I think, content has messed up. We tried to make it seem like one was better than the other. This is more better than that. No. Anything that sows conflict in between men is bad for men. That's why I don't beef. I got my points of view and my opinions. And if I don't agree with somebody, the best thing I can do for men, shut the fuck up. That's what I do. If I don't agree, I just shut the fuck up. That's what I do. Because I'm on code. All right, y'all. I got to get up out of here until the next time. In this janky broadcast, or this janky audio and all this other kind of shit. It is what it is, guys. I got to get all this new computer stuff set up, but good luck.